Welcome back to Recycled Cinema, your one-stop destination for captivating recaps. If you're new to the channel, congratulations, you're in for a treat. Today, we're diving into another thrilling recap. So grab your popcorn, sit back, and get ready to be mesmerized. The film begins with Melinda arriving at a gas station. Exiting her car for a cigarette, she approaches a man smoking near the fuel pumps. Despite her warning about the hazards, the man, indifferent to the prominent "no smoking" sign, dismisses her concerns. Melinda reassures him that smoking itself isn't the issue, but rather the location he chose. The man reacts angrily, asserting his caution with his cigarette. Unperturbed, Melinda leaves him and enters the gas station. Inside, Sheila, the cashier, instructs Melinda to restock and clean the toilets due to Diane's oversight. Melinda agrees, quickly changing into her work attire. While replenishing shelves, she suggests to a customer browsing snacks that the pistachios are excellent and offers a refund if he's dissatisfied. Although she introduces herself, the man displays minimal interest. During toilet cleaning, Melinda is seen examining candid photos of a police officer in the gas station. A man enters and reprimands her, mistaking the men's room for a unisex facility. Meanwhile, Sheila watches a video of sophisticated ladies twerking and lures Melinda into an awkward twerk, secretly recording it and sharing it online. Simultaneously, a suspicious man arrives at the gas station. An elderly man enters, inquiring about Sheila at the cash register. Identifying himself as Fred, he mentions their recent conversation, where Sheila complained about sore feet. Fred had procured padded insoles for her. Melinda graciously accepts the gift on Sheila's behalf, although Sheila declines it. She insists that he frequents the gas station nightly, but emphasizes her desire to keep things platonic between them. Disappointed, Fred walks away, but Melinda intercepts him before he reaches his car. Trying to uplift his spirits, she mentions that the insoles fit her perfectly. Meanwhile, the earlier suspicious arrival, a man named Billy, conceals a revolver in the back of his pants. Melinda introduces herself to Billy, who inquires about other employees and requests cigarettes. A police car arrives, and Officer Lou emerges, revealing a prior connection with Melinda. Billy, tense inside, catches Sheila's eye, and she approaches him offering assistance. He mentions needing condoms, and after a brief interaction, they choose the items. Outside, Melinda unsuccessfully tries to convince Officer Lou to take her for a ride in his new cop car, joking about getting arrested. Officer Lou promises a ride later and heads inside for coffee. Billy enters the bathroom as Officer Lou tends to the cash register, making the humorous remark about sex-enhancing tablets. Sheila notices Melinda taking pictures of Officer Lou, leading to a confrontation where Melinda drops her phone, which Officer Lou alleges is now broken. He receives a call and leaves abruptly. Sheila chastises Melinda for taking candid photos, calling her a creep. Distraught, Melinda steps out for a cigarette and returns on the brink of tears. Upon re-entering, she finds herself facing Billy's revolver. He instructs her to stand next to Sheila, clarifying that he doesn't intend to harm anyone. Billy begins explaining his desperate need for money, as people are after him. Sheila urges him to expedite the robbery, prompting him to demand cash from both registers and the safe room. Sheila informs him that only managers have access to the safe room, and the cash register holds less than $100, due to the decline in cash payments. She even questions the authenticity of his gun, irritating Billy to the point of firing a shot. Melinda empathizes with his situation, asking if the stolen money will suffice to settle his debt with bikers. She offers to help by retrieving money from the safe just as two customers enter the scene. Billy urges Sheila to stay calm and avoid causing a scene. Melinda, sensing the escalating tension, unbuttons her shirt in an attempt to appeal to Billy. The situation becomes more intense when Sheila struggles to provide change to a customer, and Billy anxiously observes from behind the shelves. The customer seeks directions, and Sheila discreetly hands him a note advising him to call 911 for help. Melinda suddenly appears and crumples the note. Once the customers leave, Billy approaches the counter to retrieve the bag, but Melinda hesitates, questioning his destination. Despite the heated argument over the money, Melinda expresses a desire to accompany him. Billy, reluctant to take her along, initiates a physical confrontation, ultimately seizing the backpack. Sheila calls out Billy for being a coward and using a gun to intimidate two women. In a fit of rage, Billy drags Sheila from behind the counter. He instructs Melinda to lock the doors and surrender her phone. They move to one of the back rooms, where Melinda, disappointed, buttons her shirt back up. She grabs a hot coffee, pours it on her hand without flinching, and walks back to the room, dousing Billy's face with it. She then incapacitates him with a fire extinguisher. Unfortunately, In the struggle, Billy accidentally pulls the trigger, fatally shooting Sheila. Upon waking up, Billy finds that Melinda has cleaned up and wrapped Sheila's body in a tarp. He insists he never intended to kill anyone. Attempting to stand, he realizes he's tied to a chair. Melinda sits calmly in front of him, silent. She questions why he didn't take her along, and Billy explains the chaotic nature of the situation. Melinda, uncertain of her plans, refrains from calling the police. Billy claims they are now accomplices and tries to persuade her to untie him.
So let's get out of here while we still can together. Look, I know I can trust you now.
Melinda asserts that they were on the same team from the beginning. Billy attempts to convince her that he didn't initially believe her. He questions whether Melinda is discontent with her life, working at a gas station. Melinda begins delivering a manifesto about the societal benefits of gas stations. Billy says that his face really hurts. She grabs some painkillers from the front, while in the background we hear angry customers trying to get inside the gas station. They talk about the plan of getting out together. When Melinda tells Billy that she has a boyfriend, he seems shocked about this. She feeds Billy more painkillers. He figures out that she fed him sexual enhancers instead of the painkillers he asked for. Then Melinda explains that she knows he is lying to her, and he wouldn't leave with her. She blindfolds him and tries to go against his will. Somehow he breaks free and knocks himself out running into the shelf. Melinda walks out with the money. She finally lets in the guy who was banging on the door earlier. He complains about the lack of coffee. She aims the gun at her head without the guy noticing it, but quickly changing her mind, she puts the gun down. She bursts into tears and tells the guy to leave her alone. Melinda dials 911, but her attempt to call for help takes a turn when Perry, Sheila's boyfriend, walks into the gas station. Inquiring about Sheila, Perry notices her phone buzzing on the ground. Suspicion creeps in as he realizes Sheila is typically inseparable from her phone. Melinda, attempting to cover her tracks, falsely claims that Sheila left with a guy to a motel. Despite the glaring lie, Perry reluctantly leaves for the nearest motel. As Melinda tries to conceal any evidence, she is interrupted by the arrival of the bike gang at the gas station. They question her about the events of the night, describing Billy and inquiring about his presence. Melinda, sensing their persistence, probes them about engaging in illegal activities, such as disposing of dead bodies. Tensions rise as she pulls a gun on them, and they respond in kind. The gang's leader orders a ceasefire, pointing out the cameras around. They decide to investigate for their supposed friend, and warn they'll return if he's not found. After their departure, Melinda returns to the gas station, attempting to break the lock to erase the incriminating camera footage. Failing in her efforts, she steps outside for a cigarette, where the desperate idea to burn the entire place down takes hold. Melinda fills 2 canisters with gasoline and returns to the counter. As she prepares to pour the gasoline, Officer Lou walks in with his gun drawn, pointing it at her. Inquiring about anyone suspicious, he reveals that Billy's car is stolen and that he's been searching for it. Noticing the keys still in the ignition, Officer Lou suspects the driver is nearby and wants to check the surveillance tapes. Melinda claims only Diane has access to the tapes, so Officer Lou decides to call her. While he's on the phone, Melinda discreetly slips the revolver into her pockets. She then informs Officer Lou that she did see a suspicious man who left for the motel in a green Jeep. Before leaving, Officer Lou decides to sweep the store quickly. Melinda, frustrated and nearly in tears, hides the gun he previously pointed at her. Officer Lou checks every room in the back, finding everything in order. Surprised, Melinda hastily conceals the gun. He gives her his phone number and leaves to investigate the motel. Melinda checks the back room, discovering it empty, with the cable ties used to bind Billy on the floor. She proceeds with her plan to set fire to the gas station. Strange thudding sounds and a sudden blackout unsettle Melinda. Unable to exit through the front, due to a malfunctioning photocell door, she hears Billy's return, yelling at her. She warns him about the gasoline on the floor, threatening to burn everything down. Perry arrives, banging on the front door. Melinda attempts to escape through the back, but Billy has already blocked the exit with a dumpster. In the front, Billy deceives Perry, claiming Melinda went mad and killed Sheila. While Perry questions Melinda, Billy attacks him from behind, resulting in Perry's death. Billy takes Perry's van, leaving Melinda in distress. She calls Officer Lou, but Billy smashes through the front entrance with the van. Attempting to apologize, Melinda faces Billy's revenge. He pulls the trigger, but the gun, soaked in gasoline, catches fire. Dropping the gun, it ignites the gasoline on the floor. Melinda manages to escape, albeit with burns on her legs. The police arrive, and Officer Lou guides her to safety. This has been Recycled Cinema. Subscribe for more videos like this, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out. Leave us a like and comment so we can keep making more high-quality videos. See you on the next one.